Right, people, as you can see over there, another of my project I'm involved in. Yeah? I was that type of a person. So I'm going to read my horoscope so you'll get an understanding of how I've managed to survive. Hoping one day something will come right. A team effort within your community or at your workplace is not giving a lot of satisfaction. You aren't able to pinpoint a reason for this since your mind isn't on it. So you may well focus on solo tasks. Oh my God. That's my nephew and my son and my elder brother. My nephew who was born after I came to this country. He doesn't walk. That's Jevon. And a lot of what I do is for the love of promoting inclusion. Because I know my nephew, if he had gotten help, that like what's in this country, he would have made something of his life. But he never had that opportunity. Yes, I did. That's why I do what I do. And carry on it in the hope that one day God will deliver me. Right, so I'm going to read this. The things they say. Peace is its own reward. Mahatma Gandhi, 1869-1948. And I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to give you an idea of how I do therapy. So I'm being blamed for everything under the sun. Yeah? But this is how I do therapy. So I'm just going to read a little snippet. On the eve of another important date in the annals of my history, something I heard last night caused me to be reflective, my son, of my life 57 plus years. Well, I'm darned well the same Ermin Mervily I Nemhard Myers, aka Ratty, who my dad named me. I refuse to put on any airs and graces. A bike that killed somebody. Because then I'd become a false pretender and not the true me. Anything I say on these medium is not anything I'd not say in any other situations. So for those of you who chose to battle up your feelings and make them probably end your demise, you are most welcome, as I'm going to chat until my big master decreed otherwise. And for those of you who presume to still know me, don't, because separations mean there are lots of changes. When you come in, make sure you are well armed, because I'm ready to defend myself. Make sure uno put uno house in order before uno expect me to sort out for me tattoo. That's called Schema. Children at Nursery, Luton Street. Well, I learned something new on my last visit home. We lived in touch. Yeah, let me show you. We lived in touch houses too. Food for thoughts indeed. I utterly and totally refuse to be treated like shit that anyone decide to wipe from their shoes if they had the misfortune to step in shit. Yeah? So these are the things I write as therapy. Have I put anything in there? Have I defamed anybody? Huh? Have I offended anybody by saying what's on my mind? I was reflecting. Yeah? And that's me there. Spring has sprung and I'm right there in the mix, engaging another of my therapy sessions. See, from when I'm writing about therapies, using social media for therapy to where I'm at now. So what did I say I was going to do? I'm carrying on my therapy. So since I'm carrying on my therapy and the page is open to this, I will showcase my chronic anxiety diagnosis. I'm not reading it. I've read it before. I'm just getting into the video so you understand where I'm coming from. And for those who are using my disability against me. So here it is. It's just what I do. When I went to transfer to Bird in the Bush, I'm always doing projects to tie in with my homemade books and stuff. Because I've had a mission from the time I was told at Lambeth College that I could use my assignments for my first book. And to know that I tried to publish my first book. And what happened? The person stole my manuscript and sent the police to section me of a malicious report. And who is the victim? I am the victim. So that is another project I started. As you can see, I'm not reading it, I'm just digitalizing it. There it is, 21st of the 10th, 2014. It's signed Teresa Salmon, and there it is. Yeah? Right, so this is another one. I transferred to Bird in the Bush. I had no idea this was written. Nobody interviewed me, nobody included me in anything. Yeah? So here it is, case study, turning nurseries around. Yeah? And all I can say, this woman was part on the panel of the disciplinary. And then the next thing I saw, Louise Cooper in the Daily Express. And when I made inquiries, advising London, I didn't see her anymore. What possibility that she's not the same person, considering it was to do with finance and her area of work? So what I'm really interested for you to see, carrying on, digitalizing. Take a good note of this photograph. Yeah? Take a good note of the tie head. Yeah? And that's the rest of it. Challenge 4. Working for Leaf has changed my life personally and professionally. And it is now a real pleasure to come to work. The transformation has had a butterfly effect on staff, and the nursery has a whole new feel. Ofsted parents and visitors have been so complimentary and comment on how professional, happy, and welcoming the staff team are. Yeah? So here it is. And by when I was labeled and whatever happened. Challenge 3, finding high quality staff. Yeah? Is that why I'm focused here? More prominent in the picture than Saul? Yeah? So the next one now I'm going to turn around. And am I missing my focus? So the next one I'm showing is seeking counseling in legal matters. And then I'm going to put this on record. Yes? So I'll take it out so I can do some focusing around here and get pictures included in my story, because these must be documented. These people. Oh, as I come now, you can see. So my intellectual property will be in that as well. And there am I. Yeah? At Luton Street. So here now. I'm going to read this in its entirety and see if I can do it in Dear Mervily. So I could not access the website. So this was sent to me by Winsome Duncan, the person who I had an engagement agreement in. Now I realize she was always on the internet, trolling. Trolling. As they say, these people use social media and the internet for their own whatever purposes. Yeah? So Julia Elizabeth Gould reviewed Leaf Nurseries 1 star. March 25th, 2016. So that would be before. Yeah, I want you to take in the picture to help tell my story, Madonna and children. The ET case. I worked for this company for 2.5 years. I was grateful for them taking me on as a first job. Yeah, the name on that is Darren Mahan. So he disappeared. He was from the Voice, the union, represented me at the disciplinary and just disappeared. I was grateful for them, up closer, yeah? I was grateful for them taking me on as a first job, but not for all the stress and health problems that came with it. I feel sorry for all the ladies at my nursery who I left behind. For a company who tells us to be brave, nurturing, inspiring, and fun, how do you expect your staff to accomplish such things with all the overworked hours and piles of paperwork that you so happily force upon them? We are there to nurture the children of the future, but instead worry so much on how tidy the rooms are and how outstanding the learning journeys are. There is no time left in the day to nurture, let alone have fun. Maybe now the company has stopped concentrating so much and making more money by opening more and more nurseries. You would take a step back and see the amount of stress and overworked. Pardon me. Your older nurses have become. Maybe think about staffing them too. To lift the weight of over ratios and 25 key children per person would just be a start. I watched a handful of good and honest members of staff leave the nursery I worked at and finally came to the breaking point of where I, at the age of 21, had to leave for my own health. Ingrid Korovija Townsend reviewed Leave Nurseries 1 star 29th of August at 1838, so most likely it's the same 2016. I don't know. The staff turnover at Marsgate has been awful, causing so many other issues. Does nobody look at the effects of one person leaving before making the decision to move another 3? Now the deputy manager will also be leaving, and she is the only person that reassured us during all of these changes, that remained consistent and was always someone we could talk to. The children are unsettled, and as a parent I feel awful leaving my child in the care of strangers. I get my husband to pick up and drop off most days as I get too upset with all the chaos in the nursery. I'm drinking because I'm not eating and I need to rehydrate. That's from when I've been buying resources. Yeah? That's from when how to help your autistic spectrum child. Yeah? I buy my resources to do my work, and this is where I'm at the past 7 years. Yeah? So I'm up close and personal so you see who I'm with. Okay? Just so you see who I'm with. Jyoti Sharma reviewed Leave Nurseries 1 star. So that's March. That's me as a basic school teacher in Jamaica. Yeah? And this Jyoti Sharma is known to me as Jyoti Bhardwaj, the deputy manager at Bird in the Bush, who started the December. Yeah? So listen to what she has to say. I said goodbye to Leave a couple of weeks ago. But I feel that I left my mission unaccomplished, and I am still struggling to overcome the leaf addiction I have. However, I do feel that by moving on, I have done one of the best things for my overall well-being. Leaf is an organization which has high aspirations, and to achieve these aspirations, Leaf likes to push its staff as much as it can without sorting the issues or giving them enough support, etc. Staff at Leaf get dead busy and no extra help or time is offered to them to manage this enhanced workload. Pardon me. As a deputy manager, I had so much to do without having any admin day or some time off the room. I was working as a deputy. A Senko. Was in the ratio 5 days a week, had key children, doing extra hours, deputies extra work, and 3 hours a day commuting, and on top of all this, putting up with a bully chef. I was also put in the ratio when manager was absent, which also put extended pressure on the staff when I had to leave the room. Did I not tell you that it was a prison? Breed in the Bush was a prison? Yes, it was a prison. No doubt staff will find themselves unable to cope with added pressure, but I survive under this pressure. When I went to Luton Street, I was doing maybe 3-4 staff work. That was how I thrive. I have something, I have a name, I have a focus. Yeah? And that's what I told Dilys Ipton. Work keeps me going. Yeah? To where I'm now at. They are already under huge pressure as due to large number of agency staff and few apprentices, they ended up having 15. Another of my key child. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. Easter coming up. Yeah? Provide the child with the resources and you will see the outcome. A parent is a child's first teacher. Okay, so I'm going to read from here. 5 days a week, had key children, doing extra hours, deputies extra work, and 3 hours a day commuting. On top of all this, putting up with a bully chef. I've read that already, so I'm going to carry on down. And that was one of the reasons I asked for transfer, so I could carry on working and be carer for my elderly husband. They already under huge pressure as due to, I've read that already. Eventually, passionate staff who wants to do a good job get stressed. That's me there. Frustrated and drained and finally bound to leave. Unpassionate staff also leave due to separate reasons. In addition to fix the staff problems which I mentioned above, another important thing Leaf must do is to upskill. When I went to PC Palmer's funeral, upskill and empower their management team as they are directly responsible for staff well-being. For example, I had to put up with a bully chef which affected my mental state to the extent that it nearly put me off coming to work every morning, and myself, in bracket deputy manager, and the manager could not address this effectively and fairly, I believe, due to lack of confidence. And skill, or maybe sometimes management's habit or a will to ignore issues like this. But who paid the price? Undoubtedly me. So me, who was transferred from Luton Street to be one of the professional staff as is in Louis Cooper Growing Pains. Yeah, they had strength for me, so they made allegations and turfed me out. But they didn't have strength for that bully chef. Yeah, so I was the target because June O'Sullivan sanctioned the discrimination. Right, let's carry on reading. There are job competencies there for the staff which everyone needs to meet, but they are just a piece of paper. This chef does not meet any. Uche's funeral. Uche, a young man, it was IT. I was surprised when I saw Alev put it on there that Uche died of cancer. Yeah? Uche was African. Lovely young bloke. Yeah? This chef does not meet any of these competencies, intimidates the staff, however, still comfortable working at leave under the nose of even area manager, who is, in bracket I hope so, well aware of his day-to-day actions. All I am going to add to this, that's me now, is only one of the, that's me again. When did I change from this person? Reasons for my Fight for Justice campaign. But instead of getting the justice that I was looking for, another funeral, from the employment tribunal, I ended up with this online. So that's the Earl for the judgment that they took 5 months. I am sure the public will not be surprised to hear that this is the second that's my grandmother and her other son, my uncle with the Parkinson's. Yeah? I am sure the public will not be surprised to hear that this is my second time facing direct and indirect discrimination. That's me, yeah, being one of the children, on multiple grounds. I am part of Dr. Maria Hudson's 2012 research paper, The Experience of Discrimination on Multiple Grounds, for the Policy Studies Institute. Recommendation made to ACAS. In this day and age when there is a Modern Slavery Act 2015, the ET reverted even further back than the Slavery Act 1807. Is it any wonder I'm suffering stress incontinence? So I am using this opportunity to tell the world, the whole world, the role that unions play in keeping employees enslaved to the modern day slavery masters and mistresses who have been given sanctions to destroy lives. And I wrote this here Margaret Harm lecture and the Earl, because this was, so this is me now and my brother, my elder brother and my nephew. First, in one of them it was my son, so that's my nephew Jevon. He's 28 years old. That's another person who worked at leave. See? They're all hiding. Nobody come forward. So I was talking about the Margaret Horn lecture to say this was what June O'Sullivan used, the Margaret Horn lecture, to send police to come to my house to murder me, to say I committed suicide. I make no reservation in saying that's what it was. Okay? When I started doing Race for Life. Yeah? So I'm going back again. Each time I make a video, I will get this in it, so people know how my intellectual property has been used and what June O'Sullivan has done since 21st of the 8th, 2010. Mervily, hello Mervily. I need your help. I'm doing a research project for our wedding with June. The research is a voice of a child. I'm going to be in on Thursday, crossout Wednesday, and I booked you out all day. This is the plan. Exit interviews. Christian, Fion, Tommy. Complete the exit interviews with the children and film it. Children's planning meeting. Small group of children in bracket 4. And film. That's my basic school certificate. I suggest that you get yourself familiar with the video recorder and practice before Thursday. Any queries, please do not hesitate to call me. I don't mind. More photo of my work. Julie, something for your PPD. It should be PDP. Research for etc. So that would be Tony Bertram and Chris Pascal. Yeah? So this is the observation form, as you can see. Date of birth, Christian Foster M. Ella, whatever. So that's what's on the front, so I have a copy. I'll be using this in all my... everything that I'm doing now. More pictures of moms. Yeah? So I need to tell the world, so I'm just going to show you. That's the bird in the bush. That the one in particular from the deputy manager is talking about. When I done my LSA. Yeah? So here are some things. Yeah? And that was as recently as COVID. Make sure you take note. And these are my comments. Yeah? Your comment is awaiting moderation. Your comment is awaiting moderation. Your comment is awaiting moderation. I phoned up the union. I phoned up Southwark News. I tried every way to get involved. No problem. I contacted them via social media before my accounts were taken away. No joy. So I tried to put the Earl in the day before, and it seems as if they've taken it offline. So all I have left, that's Mr. Ruddock, all I have left now is, luckily I printed this out. So that's Cardboard Citizen. I'm not letting them go over too much. Photographs that I've taken. When people are saying I'm this and I'm that and I'm the other, you will know I'm totally wiped out at Facebook, as you can see. Yeah? So as I said, I only go to Facebook to get whatever is mine. So that's another one down.